we're doing another review today, and this time we're doing a Darien Lake review. So let's get right into it. And as you noticed, they have a great selection of thrill rides. They have a great one. So I'm going to talk about the thrill rides later, but you know, family ride collection is just okay. So they really need some work on family rides, but kiddie rides is terrible. They only have 10 kiddie rides, and one of those is a roller coaster, and all the others are just your original kiddie rides. But I also really like the balloons. Balloons is probably the best kiddie ride at the park. It's the same ride as Woodstock's Whirly Birds, totally different theming.
Yep.
And in fact, Balloons doesn't have any theming at all. However, Woodstock's Whirly Birds has theming to Snoopy. Watch, that's at a different park. So, and they have an okay selection of coasters. They do need to work on some more coasters. But if it was still a Six Flags park, they'd count their Super Loop, which is Rolling Thunder, as a coaster.
Not a coaster.
Not a coaster. Because it's, you know, it's not a Six Flags park. I said not a Six Flags park.
Not anymore.
Write Six Flags park down for Darien Lake. Put an X over it.
Yeah.
So, of course, the big coaster here is Superman Ride Steel, which is the hyper coaster, which is the best coaster in the park. Is literally.
How tall?
They don't have a giga.
They have a hyper. It's 200, over 200, right?
208 feet tall.
208 feet. A lot of good air time.
A lot of good air time on it.
Some really good intensity, some hard forces into those turns.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like it when you get to go on it next year, right?
Uh-huh. Because I've never ridden it because I'm too short, but
54 inches for
will
that.
be sure to be my new favorite roller coaster when I do ride it.
Yep.
Because it's everyone's favorite at the park.
Yep.
So now you all are wanting me to do it. Yes, I am going to talk about the roller coasters now.
Okay.
So they have 3 roller coasters that go upside down. They have the Viper, which is your aero looper. They have the Mine Racer, which is the Vekoma SLC, and the Vekoma Boomerang, which is called Boomerang. And it's a unique name.
Well, they have another coaster too. They have other coasters. They have looping ones, but
they have 4 that don't go upside down, which is the Moto coaster, which it can't because you're riding on a motorcycle.
yeah.
So it wouldn't be
Good
safe.
launch coaster,
they have
though.
the Kiddie coaster.
Yep.
They have the Woody, which I believe should get the RMC treatment someday.
So do I.
Even though it's number 3 best Woody that I've ridden. It'll probably go lower on my list when I ride some of these other Woodies next year.
Yeah, I think it will.
Uh-huh.
And that's the Predator, right?
Uh-huh. And they also have Superman Ride of Steel, which it wouldn't make sense for a hyper coaster to go upside down. But that's just freaking nonsense for a hyper coaster.
Why? I think they should do a hyper coaster that goes into loops.
Yeah, there's only one of those type of coasters in the world, which is the 9th tallest coaster, which is a very good one. So they need kind of more upside down hyper coaster.
Okay, that's their coaster lineup.
That's their coaster lineup.
Good coaster lineup, though. Not great, but it's a good one.
Not great, not as good as like Canada's Wonderland,
Yep.
but better than like a Sea Breeze or Martin's Fantasy Island.
Correct, yep.
Correct. So next up we have thrill rides.
Okay. What do you think about their thrill rides?
Great selection selection of thrill rides.
You like their thrill rides, huh?
Let's see. They have the slingshot. They have paratrooper. Well,
They call it something different, though. They don't call it
they call it
paratrooper.
haymaker.
They call it the
That's
haymaker.
more of a family ride, and I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
They have the Enterprise ride, which is called Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet. My favorite of the thrill rides.
What?
Drop Tower. the
Oh,
drop,
yeah!
Or Blast Off, it's called at
They
Darien Lake.
have Blast Off. They have the Sky Flyer, which is called Red Hawk. They have the Pirate, which is your pirate ship.
Yep.
They have your Hostile Spin Riptide.
Yep.
They have Rolling Thunder, which if it was still a Six
Not a coaster.
Flags park, they count it as a coaster.
Not a coaster.
This coaster is great.
That's a fun ride, though.
Thunder is a great roller coaster.
One of the other big thrill rides they took out this year.
Coaster.
They took out the Ranger. No
They
more
took
longer
out
there.
Ranger.
Ranger's
No
gone
more
as of this year, right?
No more Ranger. They also have 3 water rides, which are
Log Flume.
Shipwreck Falls, and Grizzly Run.
Yeah.
Which Grizzly Run is considered the best of the
The
3
I
water
agree.
rides, and
Plus, they got a huge water park, too.
they got a huge water park. Not a great water park, but a good water
It's a
park.
good water park. They got a big water park.
Kiddie section, wave pool. They have a water coaster. They have, which Darien Lake clearly doesn't market that roller coaster as a roller coaster.
Nope.
They don't. They have a lazy river. They have a
A
unique.
lot of good stuff.
They have your original water slide. You have the Brain Train, which is your capsule slide. And
Yeah.
then you have the Tornado, which is a unique slide.
That's a great
You
one.
go down in this raft, and then you get sucked into this big giant version. It's like this big giant version of Typhoon,
Yep.
which will be at Canada's Wonderland
Yep.
this year.
It's a good one. What about family rides? They talked about the thrill rides.
But now let's talk dark rides. And I can't believe I'm actually doing this category because Darien Lake doesn't have any dark
No dark
rides.
rides.
They have one roller coaster with a tunnel, which is their Aero Looper.
That's not a dark
Viper,
ride.
But that's the only moment you're going to be indoors besides the restaurants and
Yep.
gift shops.
Okay, so what about family rides? What do you think of their family?
Family rides. I'm going to say family rides is a pretty good collection.
It is.
Family rides.
You got the swing. It's a good swing.
What swing?
The swing over there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Lasso.
Lasso's
Who
their
is
swing.
a thrill ride?
Oh, it's a thrill. Okay, if you consider that a thrill. They definitely have Haymaker, though, which is the paratrooper ride. That's
they
a good
have
family.
your classic scrambler.
There's a classic scrambler. They also have,
They have.
I like it a lot, maybe not as much the corn popper,
They have the corn popper, which is like the clockwork.
like Clockworks at Canada's Wonderland. They have the Himalaya.
And then, they have Himalaya.
That's a good,
Well, I consider sleigh ride as a thrill ride as well.
okay, then that's a thrill ride.
They have all 3 water rides.
Family rides.
All those are families. And the least considered water ride is Shipwreck Falls, which is the shortest.
It is.
The most
You
considered.
just go up and then you come down the other side. You get wet, though.
And the most considered is the whitewater raft ride, which is called Grizzly Run. They have 2 bees and a wasp, which is your flying scooters.
Yep.
They have bumper cars. They
That's it, probably.
the
Oh, they have the giant wheel, too.
Has a They have carousel giant wheel, which is your Ferris wheel.
Yep.
Actually, the pirate is more of a family ride. They have their
They got a good family lineup, right?
Moose on the loose.
Moose on the loose. Great ride.
Moose on the loose. Moose on the loose.
So overall, what do you think of the park? Not you, Greta, him. What do you think of the park?
We forgot to talk about kiddie rides.
You already talked about kiddie rides. You said you didn't like them. Okay, go ahead and talk about kiddie rides.
They exactly have 10. The kiddie bumper cars, their kiddie coaster called Hoot and Holler. They have balloons, your kiddie teacups. They have the Dumbo, your kiddie flying carpet, which is submarine, kiddie Ferris wheel, kiddie train, kiddie swings, and kiddie cars. So, terrible lineup.
Okay.
So,
overall, what do you think of the park?
So, overall, what I think of the park, it's a great park. I'd probably give the park, I'd say, maybe like, it would be fair to give it like
What do you think?
a 7.5.
7.5. Really good park.
Mm-hmm.
If you go there, you're going to have lots of fun.
Or like like Martin's Fantasy Island, that's a 5, or Seabreeze, that gets a 5.5.
Yeah, much better than your Seabreeze, Martin's Family Island. Not as good as the big parks, the Canada's Wonderland, the Cedar Fair parks, but a great park. If people go, they're going to have fun. And they can also see the entire park, including the water park, on your Darien Lake walkthrough video, right?
Yeah. So, that concludes this video. And
Somebody wants to say something
one
now.
more thing to say. Goodbye.
Goodbye.